Hey y'all, welcome to the dish out. My name is Randy. Now, don't go running off. Now, you're at the right place here. I know you're used to seeing Chris, but he ain't feeling too well today, and so I figured the show must go on, so I'm here to cook for you. Now, those y'all don't know, I'm Chris's first cousin on his mother's side, once removed. Not genealogically speaking. No, you see, I borrowed about $7,000 from his mom a few years back, and I ain't quite gotten around to paying it back, so they don't really like to talk to me anymore. But look, ain't no need to get into them weeds. I'm still going to cook for y'all because I care about you. Now look, I'm not a fancy chef. I don't do no medallions or roulade or beurre blanc sauce. That ain't my style. But I tell you what I can do. I can make a mean hash. You know, hash. Like taters with peppers and onions and maybe some meat thrown in there, as long as you're not one of them vegans. So I like meat in my hash, and so I'm going to poke around in this old fridge here and see what Chris has in store for us. Ooh, I don't mind if I do. Ooh. We got us some chorizo. That's good stuff. Y'all, God bless. Chris is one of those freaks that don't keep no pre-cooked meat in his fridge, so before we can really get to making our hash proper, we gotta cook up our chorizo. What we're gonna do here is take about half a pound of that chorizo and put it into an oven-safe skillet. And I like cast iron, just like Chris. We want to go ahead and get that broken up and chunked up, and we're going to brown it and render out some of that fat. I'm really struggling with that spatula there. I do apologize. But yeah, we're just going to break all that up. What we want to do is get it into nice little crumbly pieces and render out some of that fat. Now, when it's done all cooked up and looks good like that, we're going to go ahead and turn the heat off, and we're going to get that stuff out of there, man. Get it onto a plate lined with a paper towel to drain. Set that pan aside for a moment. No, it's a funny story about chorizo. My first wife's name, well, her surname, her maiden name, hell, I don't know. One of her names was Chorizo. God rest her soul. She left us a few years ago for a woman in Texas. And she loved hash, and I always think about her every time I make it. I just think it's funny that I'm making a chorizo hash. I miss you, chorizo. Our ingredients that we're gonna need is right here on this board. So come on in here, take a look. We got us here about 2 pounds of russet potatoes. Now, I don't like to peel them because I'm lazy, so I just wash them off, get all that dirt and crap off the outside. But if you really want to peel them, you go right on ahead. Gonna need an onion, some green onions, a pepper. Now, I like these pretty orange ones because they match my shirt, but you can use green bell peppers or yellow, whatever you got. We're gonna need 1 jalapeno, and then we're not gonna use this whole can, but I got some black beans right here, okay? So why don't y'all watch me work? With these taters here, I like a big chunky dice on them. I go about maybe 3/4 of an inch, maybe even an inch on some of them pieces, because they're gonna break down a bit in the skillet. So just go ahead and get all those bad boys chunked and diced up and get them into a bowl. Oh. Now with our bell pepper here, we're gonna just we're just gonna slice it up. Try and keep it in one piece when you're taking it off. Then go ahead and slice it into some little strips and dice those up about the same size as your taters. Next up, we got our onion. Now, I do believe y'all seen Chris cut up an onion or 2 or 10, but I do it the same way, but I like a nice large dice on my onion as well. So we're gonna get that in a bowl and just let it rest. Now for the jalapeno, I like to cut the top off, cut it in half, and then I'm gonna get some of these seeds out of here. I like a little spice, I like a little punch in my gut, but I ain't want no fire in my butt, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, that was crazy. Alright, we're gonna slice it down the middle and then get it into little pieces, just like that. Get that into a bowl. Last up is our green onions. Now these are gonna be a garnish, so we're just gonna cut them up into little tiny little pieces, just like that. So back in that cast iron skillet, get that bad boy on the heat again. Get about a tablespoon of olive oil on down in there. Get your taters in there. Now you want to push them down a little bit. You want to make sure they're making good contact with that pan. I like to season mine up liberally. I said liberally. with some Cajun seasoning. It's got a lot of good herbs and spices in there, but salt and pepper will do. Now you just need to kind of stir these and toss them around every 5 or 6 minutes so that they're getting brown on all the different sides. Now, while our potatoes are sizzling away and cooking in that skillet in the back, can you hear them? We need to talk about what we put on top of our hash. Now, just the eggs themselves is just fine and dandy, but I like a little something extra on top. My second wife, Lucinda, God rest her soul, she's really dead. Tragic accident with John Deere. She taught me how to make a main condiment, I guess you call it, a salsa, called Pico de Gallo. It's got some jalapeno in it. It's got some Roma tomatoes, a red onion, but any kind of onion works, some cilantro, and some fresh lime juice. So we got to wait a little bit on these potatoes. Let's make some Pico de Gallo. We're going to start with our tomatoes. We want to get the top off and then split them right down the middle. There's a lot of juice and crap in there, and I don't know why anybody would want to eat that in their salsa, so just go ahead and scoop out all that juice and pulp. Just leave us with that nice tomato shell. Then you're going to slice those up. We're going about a little, 1/4 inch there. Once you slice them up that way, go back through and dice them up. Try and keep it even if you can, but if you can't, I ain't holding it against you. Now I got another jalapeno, and again I'm going to cut this one in half, and honestly I'm just going to use half here because it's a big sucker. This time I'm taking all the seeds out because I don't want that spice right now, and I'm going to go ahead and slice it into little tiny strips and then cut this through. Now I believe Chris said this is called a brunoise, but I'm not entirely sure what that means. Next up for our onion, we didn't need much here, just maybe 1/4 of that onion. Take that skin off, and then I want a nice, real fine mince on this, because you don't want it raw. You don't want a big old piece of raw onion, you know what I'm saying. Last up is our cilantro. I'm just going to cut off a few of those leaves there, and then get those chopped up right and fine. Again, we don't want a big old piece of cilantro in our mouth. So get that into a bowl. Go ahead and squeeze in the juice of 1 lime, and this was a juicy sucker, I declare. You gotta season it up with some pepper and a pinch of salt. Go ahead and mix all that together, and that's all she wrote, folks. That's ready to serve. Now, if your potatoes is getting brown, but they're not quite totally cooked, then you just keep turning them around, and what you can actually do is put a lid on them, and you're gonna steam them for about 3 to 5 minutes. Now, you might not have to do that, but if they ain't cooking fast enough for you, do that. Then go ahead and get your vegetation in with your peppers and your onions. And go ahead and mix all that together and give it just a few minutes head start to cook. All right, get your chorizo and your black beans back in there and mix all that together to combine it. And then you're gonna make some little pockets or little divots, I guess you could call them. We'll make 4, 5, 6 of them. And go ahead and crack your eggs right on into those divots. Don't be worried if it gets a little messy. That's alright. It's going to look way more messy on the other end, if you know what I'm saying. Sprinkle a little bit of salt on them eggs. We got to season those, and then get it into a 350-degree oven until those eggs, the whites is just set, and they jiggle a little bit when you shake the pan. Then she is out of the oven. It's time to get her garnished up and get ready to scarf some of this down. I like to put a little of this nice, refreshing Pico de Gallo right around the edges of the eggs. But I like the people to still be able to see where the eggs is so they can get after them. And once we've done that, we got our little green onions from earlier. We're just going to sprinkle those bad boys all over the top. Get that good onion flavor on there. Y'all hear something? Randy, what are you doing? Are you filming a video of you cooking? Now look, I thought you said you wasn't feeling too good. Randy, I said I had a headache and I was gonna lie down for a minute. Look, I just wanted to make sure your fans didn't miss out on any of the dish out, that's all. I mean, I have plenty of videos already filmed. You didn't need to do... Are you drinking my Corona at 10 in the morning? It's my day off, cuz. Come on. Randy, you're unemployed. Every day is your day off. Oh, all right then. Yeah, I see how it's going to be. Sure. All right, I'm sorry. Gosh, what is that? It actually looks pretty good. Well, what I done got here is a chorizo hash. Okay, it's chorizo. Chorizo hash with some eggs and some pico de gallo. Could that be pico de gallo? Whatever. Look, just never mind. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bust your chops. Why don't you go ahead and wrap the video? I mean, you know how to do it, right? Here, get some of these potato, pico de gallo. Woo, it's hot. Mmm. 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 Ooh. Ooh. That is delicious. Look, y'all got to go on and give this a try. Don't matter what kind of meat you put in there. If you don't put no meat at all, it's just darn good rib sticking food. In fact, I go so far as to say that is some good Randy!